Acrylic projects on the laser. This video gonna walk you through a bunch of different projects. The goal is some inspiration, some ideas, just the possibilities of what you can do with the laser machine, specifically working with acrylic. Now, if you're not new to lasers and you're really just looking for the video of the different project ideas and that, use the timestamps down below to skip on ahead. However, for the rest of you, just a little bit of insight on why I love acrylic and some of the advantages. So I'm a woodworker, wood shop, and you don't need to have a wood shop. I say this in all of my laser videos. These are all desktop units that can be run inside the house. But I love wood. I love working with wood, all the different natural colors. But acrylic's been really fun. I do like to add color, painting projects. With acrylic, there's no painting. It's quick, it's fast, it's great for a hobbyist, and really there's a lot of margins as well for those of you who are trying to do a little side hustle, a little small business. But here, acrylic, it's just super easy to use. Super easy to use, you're up and running, you get the sheet, you peel it, you cut it, you attach it. Whether you glue it or you use double stick adhesive, I'll give some tips throughout the video on how to do that. But obviously you see all these possibilities. I have a lot of other videos walking through some ideas, and I will also talk about the laser machines and some ideas and considerations if you're in the market. But here we go, making some projects on the laser. So first up is a pretty simple sign here where I'm cutting out this really glittery blue, a really cool material. And so it cuts out really well in the laser, pop everything out. And then I went ahead and used an outline feature. So I added an outline just to help with alignment. Got everything in, just a nice little contrast with some hardwood. On this one, I kept that outline. So when I went into the software, I just made it a little bit bigger and I went with two tones here. And so here, just some ideas, some inspiration. I will slow down with a little bit more tutorial and talk about some other tips and other ones, but that's just a quick idea on a basic sign. Well, here are some more ideas of using acrylic for some nameplates. So here we got, a sports logo, we have a name, and then I have it mounted on some actually colored MDF, but you could do it on acrylic or wood, just with the team colors there. And then I'm going to add it into a wooden base. And so there you have it, nice and classy, added a little bit of a glittery silver border there. And so you could do something on the back if you wanted to. You can make it a little bit more slimline, but that's an idea right there. This could also be great for signage, for events and whatnot. Here's another really glittery one. This is a clear acrylic and lots of different glitter in here. This one definitely has some sparkle. And here you can see I have that outline, just so I can get alignment with all these individual little letters. And I made things simpler for myself by adding in some double stick tape ahead of time. And because it's double stick tape, oh, there you can see the final product, what it looks like. This is that double stick tape. So these are some 3M laser safe double stick tape sheets. And then with like this little roller or a squeegee, I can add it on. I've used some other products as well. But you put it on the back of your wood or your acrylic, and then you just go ahead and cut it. You might have to adjust your settings a bit to cut through that material as well, but then you have like this little acrylic chest piece, right? So it's nice acrylic, and then you can just peel off the backing, and then you don't have to worry about glue whatsoever. This is really nice, especially on these chessboards right here. All those individual little slats, those dividers there, that would have been so hard to get the glue in there without squeeze out. So it's a great option using the double stick tape. It makes quick work of it. Also here, just, putting in all these little inlaid pieces for these chessboards. But this was a chessboard, a chess set that I made with acrylic. I have a whole other video on it, but here you can see I made these custom little pieces out of some clear acrylic, both with the shape and then did some etching on it. Lots of possibilities with the plain pieces with acrylic. There's no sanding. I did some with wood, but acrylic just makes things so much easier. So lots of different ideas on these chess sets. Again, I have a whole video that walks you through the process, some different options and considerations. So you can check out that video if you want to learn more about the chess sets specifically. Next, I just want to show how simple it is to get that alignment, especially on something as intricate as this sign right here, where I have a lot of individual little letters. I want to get the layout just perfect, have everything uniform. So I'm peeling off that double stick tape just to get everything where I want it. And then you can see the final product using that outline, that little template, and got some great results. All right, quick interruption to talk about the laser machine and lasers. If you already know all that you need to know about lasers, use the timestamp, skip on ahead. Anyway, this video I'm using the P2. This is the CO2 laser by xTool. It is on a riser base. Like I mentioned earlier, you can run this inside your home. I'm in a garage just because it works for me, but you can run this in your living room. You can run this in a bedroom. You can just vent it outside. You can use a purifier. But this is a CO2 laser. It's got a lot more power. This laser over here is the S1. Got another one over here. The S1 is a diode laser. There's also the D1 Pro that xTool makes. Diode lasers are great. However, there are limitations on what color of acrylic they can cut. And so sometimes people will get a diode laser and then like, oh, I can't cut clear acrylic, or there's some colors you're not able to cut, just the wavelength and the laser. There's some science behind it, if you will. But you can read online if you're looking into get a diode, there are limitations. If you want no limitations on the color, if you want to do all the glittery stuff, the transparent, the clear ones, you have to get a CO2 laser. And so amazing unit. I've had this one for 9 months, no issues with it whatsoever. I do love the diode lasers. Diode lasers are great, and if budget is an issue for you and you can't quite afford a CO2 yet, still get the diode. They're fantastic. You can actually get one for about $900. They've just come out, xTool has come out with the S1. These fully self-contained, all of the great features that came out with the desktop, the cover, safety ratings, amazing, $900 and other sales. And then you could just like cut some MDF and then paint it. I have a whole other video on painting techniques, my layered sign video, where you can maybe pull off some of these same results and you can cut some acrylic, but maybe not all the colors. And so don't feel like, oh, I'm out of budget, I can't do it. You know, I'm not saying go do a payment plan, but there are still options with the diode laser. But just something to consider, diode laser, or, you know, this one is the F1. This is great. Whole other video on the different lasers. Some limitations on acrylic. If you want to cut everything, all the different colored acrylic, all the clear stuff, you need the CO2. I love this one, the P2. And really quick, because I believe in transparency, I just assumed that people figure this out, but all of these lasers were sent to me by xTool, right? I did not purchase these with my own money. I purchased a lot of the other materials, a lot of the other tools, but I got these in exchange for making videos. Like I said, I've used this one for 9 months. I stand by it. It's fantastic, but it's a great company. There's a really wide user base. So again, this is a little bit longer. You can skip ahead if you don't care, but why do I really think xTool is great? There are so many users out there, and the Facebook groups, people can give tips and tricks. There's lots of ideas everywhere. All of their different units, whether it's the rotary attachment, works for all their different machines. It's just it's a great company, and I have nothing but great things to say. With that being said, yes, it is sponsored. If you're going to purchase one of these, you know, you can use the link down below to support the channel. It's an affiliate link. We have a coupon code as well. But again, transparency, yes, I did receive these in exchange for content. All right, the end. Back to some fun projects. So next up, going to do some characters. So it can be wall art or toys for your kids. My kids love helping out. They love telling me different project ideas. And so we have fun making these together. This one right here is from a character from a new Adam Sandler movie on Netflix, but pretty fun. But what's great about the acrylic, again, is I don't have to do any painting. It's so fast. It's so quick. My kids had an idea, and I was able to get this out to them in a matter of like 15, 20 minutes. A little bit of the software, but didn't take too long to get it. Great results. It looks really, really accurate. Here's another one I've done in the past.
What did we make?
Yeah, here you go.
Thanks, Daddy. Tiny pieces.
Yeah, lots of tiny pieces. Can you show the camera? Who is that?
So my youngest really,
really
really loves this. We've made a couple other ones. With the characters, you just got to be careful. You're not going to sell this product because this is licensed IP, all of that. But it's pretty fun to make these for your kids. So some ideas here for, you know, some characters or some birthday party decorations. The next project idea is a fun puzzle. And so here, using some walnut and some maple, and just going ahead, adding a clear coat here on the product. But then I'm making these puzzle pieces in the shape of a name. And so this one has the letters of the name, but then I'm also engraving some classic Winnie the Pooh things that matches the nursery. Just a fun little project here where you pop out the pieces. This is a little bit thicker, so the puzzle pieces can pop out. But then if you look on the underside, because I reversed the engraving, you can see some characters. So you can do a little bit more. You can add a design to it, do something else here. Here I am using some CA glue and activator. It's a great option, especially when you have the larger pieces. You can make things a lot faster and easier that way and not have to do the double stick tape. But here I'm adding in those interior pieces for the letters of the name just to complete the whole look with that walnut. Here's another one I did with some contrasting different colored puzzle pieces, but fun. So these ones could certainly be used as names. It could be art. You could just make this a sign, but you could also make them as puzzle, and acrylic is a great option for that. So here's that one where there's the engraving on the clear acrylic pieces on the underside. You can kind of get a feel for that. That's a fun option. And then here's another one where I did the 1/4 inch on both sides. I wanted to make it a little thicker, so I just added black. I did need to clean that up, so I went ahead and cleaned that up after the fact. But this one was fun. Again, possibilities here. So probably my favorite project from this batch of acrylic projects was this bank. Making some banks here out of some wood, as well as using some acrylic. So this is some basswood, a big sheet where I can cut everything out. This effect right here is making it so it can actually curve. Can get some really cool files online. This particular one I just found on Etsy. There's a ton of different bank options you can check out. This particular one we're using as a Disneyland savings bank for the kids to see. All right, so this acrylic is really cool. It's not just clear, but it's also got some glitter, some speckles on the inside. Fun. Lots of personalization you can do here with different colors. Here's a letter name bank, so you can do these for your kids, grandkids, nephews. Fun. Lots of other styles online. All right, right here I want to show just how smoky it can get when you're cutting wood. So if you're new to lasers, one thing you do want to consider is where is that smoke gonna go? Now it does have a fan that's gonna pull it out, but really an inline fan is your best friend, or you can use a purifier like this for when it's cold or if you're in a room, but then venting it with one of these, an inline duct fan. These work wonders. It pulls all of that smoke out so it doesn't affect your engravings, and then you can send it out. In my case, I'm sending out the garage, but you could send it out a window if you were inside the house running your machine. But that really is something to consider if you are new to lasers and you're thinking about what you need. All right, so with all of those pieces, those wooden pieces that I cut out for the bank, I do have to do a little bit of sanding, right? So there isn't a lot of sanding that's necessary. You can do some masking ahead of time, but it doesn't take too much to do some sanding here. And then I'm adding a clear coat, a finish right here. This is the one that I love the most. I've linked down below, all the different products I use if you're interested, but just a clear coat, some lacquer. Here I'm using some CA glue, just that CA glue I talked about earlier. It's just super glue and then activator, so it cures pretty quickly. It just depends on the application of when I use that double stick tape ahead of time. Before I laser, or if I use the CA glue, but it is something that's going to be helpful to have in your arsenal for projects like this. So here's that Disneyland bank where you have the curved effect, and obviously I do need that glue to hold everything in place. And what's so nice about the CA glue now is using that accelerator, that activator, it cures so fast. And then I went ahead, again, like I showed earlier with it being cut, I did a clear acrylic with a little bit of glitter. You could add it in a different color on the back side if you wanted to have a splash of color, whatever that was. Here you can see with the eye bank, it's a little bit of a, shimmering effect, but, you could do a color on the back, you could do a color on the front. Lots of possibilities here. Here I went with some cherry wood for the cover, for the front and the back, and then basswood for the interior. And here it's just a bunch of different layers all together. You can make it as thick or thin as you want, but lots of possibilities here, lots of other bank styles. This is a fun project and some money to be made with those if you're looking to help with the side hustle. Okay, next up. Next up is a sports helmet. So sports logos, sports signs are just great to do. I make these for my personal use. If you want to sell these for whatever, sports team or league, just make sure that you have permission to do it. You can buy licenses for this. Anyway, you don't want to be selling this kind of stuff. But here, doing a helmet. So this is pretty fun. You could do helmets or all kinds of different things for sports teams. You could do these as awards. If you're looking to make some money or, again, support the hobby or do a little side business, making team awards is a great way to make some money. And acrylic is so fast for that, or making plaques like this. But here's just a classic Seahawk. Love that look. All right, quick little interruption. More projects coming. Use the timestamps if you want. However, where to find this acrylic? Now, obvious answer is xTool, the ones who made these machines. They have their own xTool selected. That's the great thing about lasers is you don't have to mill wood or source materials. You can just get stuff shipped to you, and again, you can just run everything out of your house. But most everything you see here was made from xTool products. Recently, in the last couple months, just the last couple months, xTool has really expanded their selection of acrylic. I used to use some different suppliers for some different colors, but xTool has all the amazing glittery ones, transparent ones, the different colors. I mean, obviously the crazy metallic ones, but they have a really, really wide selection. It comes really nicely packaged, extra padding so you don't scratch, especially on the mirrored acrylic, really nicely done. xTool is always running different sales. So check it out there. I can see more. This feels like an ad, but it's just people ask, so I'm putting it in here. Skip if you don't need to hear it. But enough of that. Check the links down below. Let's see another project, some more ideas, some more inspiration. Another project idea, of course, are the holidays. So here, getting ready for St. Patrick's Day, I found a really cool file, an image I liked, and then just was able to convert it to, an SVG file. We'll talk a little bit more about the free software from XCS, how easily this is done, but a cool effect, from St. Patrick's Day. Here is a great one. This is one I made a lot of this last Christmas season, just doing kind of a nativity silhouette tree. Made a bunch of these with wood. I didn't do as much with acrylic. I had to paint and do some staining, but I definitely love the idea of using a contrast of both acrylic and wood. Here's just another way, with sign making. I made this for my classroom. I'm a fifth grade teacher. Was able to incorporate acrylic and then do some engraving on the back side. So just another idea. Here is a sign I made for a coworker at school, just for her class. This is great for a nursery sign effect where a little acrylic for the lettering. You can use some wood or stain options. And then again, another sports logo sign. Here is a NHL Seattle Kraken sign with a bunch of different pieces. And then the base that you see in the background, that was epoxy, but you could certainly do that with a cool acrylic for the background to make a cool effect. So some more ideas there. Last but not least are these ornaments. So I made a ton of ornaments out of both acrylic and wood and all kinds of options. But acrylic, again, it's going to go up on the tree each year, right? A little bit of wear and tear, and so you don't have to worry about the paint chipping off, or like with MDF, it's going to hold up. These could also be used as keychains for a project. Lots of possibilities here, but here you can just see some smaller projects where we have acrylic and acrylic. Some are acrylic and wood. I played around with a lot of other objects, other options here. I have a whole video on the ornament making process as well if you want to see some other ideas, but these are really great sellers at craft shows. And so, yeah. Okay, so for those of you who don't know as much about wood, this is for you. There was some walnut with finish, unfinished, babinga, finished, unfinished, cherry, right? So those hardwoods, those natural colors, they really do change a lot. The maple, not as much. Here, I'm just using that clear coat I mentioned earlier. You want to do, about 5 or 6 coats, and then just, you don't need a sand in between, just a little scuffing with a paper bag at the end. Oh, right here. So just a paper bag works wonders. After the fact, you just rub it in, and that's just going to make it silky smooth. So if you're new to using wood, these are all xTools wooden items. There's select sheets, so really great results. It's a really cool look, that effect, and so. This is the last one right here. So I had that Babinga wood from xTool, made a little outline here and some different pieces for this cool sign here. If you know, you know. And this one was pretty fun. And so you can really see how that acrylic just makes everything pop. It stands out. and it is a very cool effect. All right, so here is a collection of some of the acrylic projects that I've made recently. You can see more of those ornaments there, lots of other styles. You can see acrylic used in a lot of my other videos, but it is a great medium to use, and it complements wood rather nicely. Again, those considerations to think about with the machines for limitations and whatnot. But one more thing I want to show. All right, before we wrap this up with some final tips, make sure you stay to the end. We got one more little tip, and that's this xTool Creative Space version 2.0. There is so much amazing updates to the software. Again, this is xTool's own software. It is free, and so if you just go to their website, they have some promos and just kind of walk you through all of the new updates. But the software is super simple, and it is just amazing, and it's free. Super intuitive. So if you're brand new to lasers, you can just, pick an item from xTool. There's easy preset parameters with the speeds and the power, all that kind of stuff. So it makes things really simple. This is what I'm most excited about because I have several different devices. Some updates are just going to be fantastic. So you want to check them out. But this is a new thing, right? So AI is definitely up and coming with lasers, and I've done quite a few projects. But xTool has really expanded theirs with some different styles, lots of different suggestions for prompts and whatnot. But we have some new options. But the vector control, this one is fantastic. So the vectors, this is when you're going to do a cut file. So you import an image. Now you can adjust the nodes. So if you're brand new to this type of software and you don't know what this means, they make it so simple and so easy. This is something that I've had to go into other programs and do a lot of research to figure it out, but lots of new features. This is something that we've been really hoping for. So lots of new updates. Make sure you check out these new updates at xTool. Download the new XCS free software and check it out. All right, folks, there you have it. Some acrylic projects on the laser. If this video provided value, please consider subscribing to see more videos like this. If you're interested in purchasing a laser, like I mentioned earlier, lots of different possible lasers, but I really do love the xTool machines. Now, obviously, I've been sent these machines in exchange for videos and content. However, I really do stand by them. The P2 that you've seen, I've been using it for 9 months. No issues with it whatsoever. If you're interested in buying, please consider using our affiliate link. You can snap that QR code or you can check the link down below. We do get a portion of the sales that helps support the channel, buy more tools and whatnot here. Maybe, add some money to the bank for our Disneyland trip, whatever. But anyway, if you're interested, there's a code down below that you can use as well. There's always great sales. You don't have to use the code either, but if you're going to purchase it anyway, might as well use it. But okay, I hate that salesy stuff. Lots of other videos I have making these projects, a more detailed one on the chessboards, lots of other ideas and more content coming, of course. If there is something you're looking to see more of, leave a comment down below what you'd like to see more videos of, and appreciate you watching. Hopefully it helped, and until next time, take care.